Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Chris Flaherty, Robert Paris, and John Vias, Peter Brown with the weather, Maddie Shipka with Community Calendar, Liz Gillespie with sports, and Marge McDonald with the senior news. Thank you for joining us. The Burlington Board of Selectmen set the FY20 tax rate during its meeting on Monday evening, and while property owners will see lower rates, they will overall see a rise in their tax bills due to higher assessed values on their properties. Burlington has a split tax rate, meaning that residents pay one amount and business pays another rate. The big decision for the board is how to split the tax burden between residents and businesses. On average, the selectmen set the rate so that the commercial property owners pay approximately 60 to 65% of the tax levy, and residents make up the rest. This year was no exception, as they chose the option that would put 62% of the burden on the businesses. Under this option, both the residential and commercial rates went down slightly. Residents will now pay $9.66 per 1,000 of assessed value, as opposed to $10.48 in FY19. Commercial taxpayers will pay $25.54 per $1,000 of assessed valuation, as opposed to $27.22 in the previous year. However, again, due to the rising value assessments, the average tax bill will increase in FY20 over FY19. In FY19, fiscal year 19, the average residential home was valued at $502,500, and in FY20 it is valued at $567,000, a 12.84% increase. This means that in FY20, the average homeowner will see roughly a $199 increase in their property taxes. The average residential bill for the year will be $5,465 due quarterly. A proposed town meeting warrant article that would change the conditions of a type of zoning to make the town friendlier for biotech companies has raised some concerns among the members of the Board of Health. A fix, however, is already in the works, reportedly. Board Chairman Ed Weiner said that while he is supportive of biotech and life sciences, he wants to ensure that town experts have oversight over every such business coming into town. He says the proposed zoning change has a small loophole that might impinge on oversight by the Board of Health. Basically, the proposal reduces some height and buffer area requirements for certain sites to be zoned as high-rise industrial. A zoning bylaw change by town meeting in January allows life science and biotech companies to occupy those zoning districts by right. Under the proposed changes, 3 sites, 3 Vandegraff Drive, 60 Blanchard Road, and the Summit property could fit this zoning. The issue that Dr. Weiner raised is that if a biotech company applies for one of these areas, it would be required to go before the Board of Health because it would mark a change of use. But under the current zoning laws, subsequent businesses in the same site might not be subject to such oversight.
Last week, we found that there were hearings that would change the zoning of 3 major buildings to IH and allow biotech. They're all office buildings, and that's fine because a change of use would have to be presented to this board to allow a biotech to come into town. Now, however, we found a loophole. If the first biotech company moved out or went out of business, another biotech, one that we may not want in town, could move in without Board of Health approval because the site was already approved for a change in use.
Though valid, Dr. Weiner's concerns might be short-lived. For starters, both Planning Board Chair Barbara LaRue and Member Joan Pember have made it very clear that they would take no action that would undermine the oversight of the Board of Health. Secondly, Planning Director Kristen Kastner told BNews that her department had language for a proposed change to the relevant zoning bylaw that would ensure all life sciences, including biotech companies, would need Board of Health approval before opening in Burlington. This would apply to a biotech company occupying the site of another such biotech company. This zoning change will be presented to town meeting as well as the initial proposal concerning the high-rise designation. They will require a 2/3 vote of the membership. There has been a big push in Burlington to expand its life science and biotech portfolio. Recently, members of the state legislature's Joint Committee on Economic Development visited 2 places in town deep in these fields for a hearing and info gathering sessions. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford caught up with them and has this report.
On Monday, November 18th, the state legislature's Joint Committee on Economic Development was brought to Burlington by State Rep and Committee Vice Chair Ken Gordon for a hearing and a chance for members and other leaders to meet with scientists, researchers, and business leaders at the Northeastern campus and at Millipore Sigma. The half-day event was an opportunity for people in education, government, and the business sector to come together to discuss ways to increase cooperation for the benefit of everyone. Members of the committee said they were happy to have the chance to hear from those other leaders about what is needed and what can be done.
It was really important as vice chair of the Joint Committee on Economic Development. The committee gave me the opportunity to come out here, to bring the committee out here to see the important, really significant and important work that we do right here in Burlington and in Bedford. We're saving people's lives every day. We're developing these pharmaceuticals, this life science. Another committee had a chance to get to see that.
What's important is our committee is responsible for drafting the economic development bill for the entire session. And opportunities like this to come out, to see what's happening outside of the Boston area, to see different ways that we can help grow clusters is very important.
Well, you learn a lot, because something you really realize coming to a campus like Millipore is how intertwined our research universities, our educational pipelines, and our, pharmaceutical companies are, and they really require partnership, and you can't have these facilities here without a really well-educated workforce. You can't have a well-educated workforce without partnership and support from state, local, and federal government.
The committee members also spoke about what they took away from the day's events.
You really took away how important the grant funding is for basic research, how important even our high school apprenticeship programs are. Even it was mentioned elementary school and middle school math and science programs help create the pipeline for really talented scientists, engineers, designers to come work at companies like this and hopefully to create and invent their own.
So clearly there's a lot of activity that's out here. There are a lot of jobs, but there are some issues and some challenges, transportation being one of them. Also helping to figure out how we engage the workforce and just the important work that's being done.
Just how important this work is, really. And when you look at the education going on at Northeastern, the fact that Northeastern got a system called Coliseum where they outbid the most significant research institutions around the country and took delivery of a system that will change our world from the point of view of radio communication. It's right here in Burlington. What goes on up the street is amazing, and I think a lot of people don't know, a lot of people don't understand or appreciate the really important contributions that Burlington is making to our world.
From Millipore Sigma, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford.
Biotech is the story du jour today, and we have one more for you. Planning Director Kristen Kasner said that the town has garnered a Platinum Bio-Ready rating from MassBio, a big jump from the bronze rating it had until recently. MassBio is a nonprofit organization that represents and provides services and support for life sciences entities and member communities to help both first come together and prosper. It represents over 1,200 biotechnology companies, academic institutions, disease foundations, and other organizations involved in life sciences and healthcare. Kristen Kasner said MassBio is the key designation and that any community that wants to attract biotech companies must have a high rating from the agency. She said getting the Platinum rating, the highest available, demonstrates Burlington is ready, willing, and able to handle incoming biotech laboratories and manufacturing. Too much stuff in your house? Not sure how to get rid of it? Organizing and productivity coach Eileen Reed paid a visit to the Burlington Public Library to help people organize cluttered things in their homes. BNews reporter Robert Paris has more.
Messy/cluttered rooms? Hard to find household items? Look no further, an expert is here. On Thursday, November 21st, the Friends of the Burlington Public Library had a presentation called A Simplified Life with Eileen Reed.
So tonight's presentation was called A Simplified Life, How to Be More with Less. And it just was talking about how when we under-engineer, uncomplicate, untangle, and simplify life, life is better. And I gave them lots of tips and client stories, some before and after photographs, which were really fun. And yeah, I think we had a packed room too.
Eileen has had this idea since she was a child.
I come from a family of 5 kids, and growing up, I shared a bedroom with my 2 sisters. So 3 girls in one room, it was a little tough, but I was always the organized one. So it's kind of in my DNA. And then when I left my corporate career and was looking at the what next, I realized that I was good at this, and there were a lot of shows on TV around that time around organizing, so I realized that you can make a career out of it, and that was 10 years ago.
Lastly, everyone at the event now has a glimpse of what is good keeping and unnecessary keeping.
It's actually less about organizing, and it's more about having less to organize. And less in every aspect of life, like, yeah, less stuff, but also less obligations, less perceptions, less stuff on our calendar, just less. It's just it's a freeing way to live.
From the Burlington Public Library, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Soldiers, stationed on the seas will soon have some treats thanks to donations from the Burlington community. Burlington Veteran Services Director Chris Hannafin said that donations of Halloween candy by residents were much higher than normal this year. He said that they had collected 40 boxes of candy, whereas last year they had a total of 6. The care packages are going to be sent to the men and women stationed on the USS Lincoln, which the U.S. Navy says is currently operating in the North Arabian Sea. Hannafin said there are roughly 3,000 sailors and Marines on this ship. It is naturally an aircraft carrier. Along with candy, the boxes will contain toiletries and items like fresh socks donated by the organization Provision Ministry. The boxes will also contain cards from Burlington students and scouts who have hand-drawn messages to the soldiers and sailors. Hannafin, a veteran himself, said these care packages and personal messages can mean a lot to soldiers, especially those who don't have as much family support as others. He said when he was stationed in Afghanistan, he had Marines who almost never received packages, and when they did, even if it was from complete strangers, it lit up their faces. On Monday, November 18th, Chops American Bar and Grill held round 3 of this year's Burlington Idol competition, which left 3 contestants standing for the finals. BNews Entertainment reporter Chris Flaherty caught up with them ahead of next week's final round, as well as this year's panel of judges.
The third and penultimate round of this year's Burlington Idol was jam-packed with stellar performances, but only 3 contestants would be moving on to the finals. Those 3 would be Mackenzie Clement, Carrie Flaherty, and John O'Neill.
I am so pumped. This has been an awesome competition so far.
I feel good. I'm excited to be back again and excited to do a few more songs for everyone.
Words can't describe emotions. I don't really have words right now, sorry.
With a level of talent flooding the Chops lounge area since round 1, the work of the judges has only increased in difficulty with each week, and next week will be no exception.
I think it's going to be tough because, it is down to 3, so they really have to pull their best work out and really show their stuff and show that they're the best out of the best.
Tonight was amazing as usual. They all really just gave it their best, and I love hearing these artists perform. Well, next week's going to be interesting because everybody's going to do a few more songs. I find that the more songs each performer gets to do, you start to see more and more of them. I'm excited to see what they bring for next week for sure.
Among the judges this year is Molly Mae Kupras, the winner of the first Burlington Idol that was held last year.
I was really honored, honestly, to come back as a judge this time. I think the talent is like a new level this year. Everybody is really good. It's making the choices and judgment a lot harder. Life has changed quite a bit. I went from Burlington Idol to the real American Idol. So I'll be on this season. I was on the season before Burlington too, but that was different. I've been gigging a lot more. I've been working with Jay, who kind of MCs the whole thing. So yeah, life is good.
While only one will take home first prize, Each of the 3 finalists are grateful for the experience and the chance to be a part of such a talented group.
It's definitely helped me improve a lot as an artist, as a musician, as a songwriter. There were a lot of contestants throughout the entire competition that had brilliant originals, and it's definitely helped me grow a little bit. And also, I love the camaraderie, because there's a lot of positivity throughout everybody. We're all like a big family. I love it.
It's good. I mean, if all goes down the tubes, I got some more live performances up my belt and everything, and it's nice to meet all these new people and get their perspective on what I can improve on and then what I'm doing well. So it's good to know that all around aspect of it.
I mean, it's meant a lot. It's super awesome getting to work with so many talented musicians, sharing the stage with people that love music as much as I do. And it's not about the win, it's about the experience. And I think it's super awesome to just be part of this.
Who will be the next Burlington Idol? We'll find out next week. Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty with your BNEWS Entertainment Buzz.
The Burlington Public Library has some good news for anyone who is perpetually bad at returning things on time. As of November 18, the library will be fine-free. This means that there will no longer be any overdue fines on most items checked out at the library, like books, music, movies, audiobooks, magazines, games, and more. And patrons don't have to worry about old fines on their accounts. Any overdue charges for Burlington Public Library items have already been cleared. Library Director Michael Wick said they made this change and that they believe the possibility of getting hit by fines keeps people away from the library, and that goes against the mission of offering information to the public. While fines will be eliminated, patrons can still be charged for lost, damaged, or never returned items. Also, items borrowed at other consortium libraries but returned in Burlington will still be fined according to the borrowing library's fine structure. Those with lost bills, damaged item fees, or fines from other libraries of more than $20 will be blocked from checking out more items until the items are returned or the charges are paid. Thanksgiving is next week, and many people will be traveling. To see what we can expect of the weather and how it might impact travel plans, we go to BNews weatherman Peter Brown for this week's forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Maddie Shipka to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with Oakshire Weather for the next 7 days. And yes, I know it's hard to believe, but this is going to take us right up to Thanksgiving. I can't believe that we are already looking at the start of the holiday season. Now, when we start out our period on Friday, look at this. We're going to see temperatures that are going to be a little bit above average. So that's something we haven't seen too much of in the past month or so. It's been very chilly, very wet out there, but we're going to see again temperatures maybe in the low, maybe mid 50s, but of course, unfortunately, that's going to bring with it the chance of some wet weather again, but at least it's not going to be too cold this time. And if you're going to be heading out, though, at night around the Burlington area, we are going to see a passage of a pretty strong cold front coming through, so we are going to see those temperatures dip down pretty far down, so you're going to have to keep an eye out for black ice again if you're out there late, just like we saw the past couple of mornings here in the Burlington area. Unfortunately, we're going to be pretty far away from those record highs up in the upper 60s that we can see at this time of the year, but it looks like we're not going to be anywhere near those record lows down in the low teens, so that's a great news. As we head towards our end of the period, looking out into Thanksgiving, our average highs should be in the upper 40s at this time of the year, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit warmer than that, so pretty nice out there for your Thanksgiving holiday. And of course, the days keep getting shorter and shorter as we head on towards winter. Now, as we go ahead, let's take a look at what we're expecting for the chances of rain and for either warm or cool temperatures for the next 7 to 10 days. And according to our map from the Climate Prediction Center in the Burlington area, the rest of New England, and actually most of the country, are expecting a chance of above average precipitation chances. And you're going to see that especially reflected when we start off the work weekend, just ending your weekend. We're going to have quite a potent rainstorm coming up into our area. Now, as we go ahead, let's take a look at what we're expecting for temperatures going ahead for the next 7 to 10 days. And according to the Climate Prediction Center as well, on the next map that we're going to be looking at, we're going to be expecting above average temperatures coming up. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit warmer than average. So big change from what we've seen the past month or so. Looks like all of the cold weather is going to be relegated out to the western half of the country. So let's go ahead, take a look at our weather and temps coming up for the next 7 days here. And looks like, yep, there's actually a fairly good amount of rain showers on this map here. But look at this, our temperatures finally are going to be a little bit warmer than what we've been seeing. Now, starting again on Friday, we're going to see that chance of some spotty showers, highs again in the low to mid 50s. Getting into start of our weekend, looks like Saturday is going to be the pick of the weekend, that's for sure. It's going to be a little bit chillier, going to be only in the mid 40s, but we're not going to see really that chance of rain coming until we get till Sunday. And as we get into Sunday, we may start off as a little bit of sleet. So keep an eye out on the roads if you're out early Sunday morning. And then we're going to see some fairly heavy rain, maybe 3/4 of an inch to maybe an inch. Temperature's pretty chilly, only in the low 40s. Now, as we start out our week on Monday and Tuesday, looks like we're going to have fair skies again. Temperatures a little bit cooler than average in the low 40s. But as we start to head out the end of the week, look at this on Wednesday, the big travel day of the week. Temperatures in the mid 50s. Unfortunately, that's going to bring with it a chance of rain again. As we head out into Thursday, our Thanksgiving, this high of 43 that we predicted looks like it might be a little bit too cool. It looks like right now, looking at the latest models, we're going to see temperatures up around 50. So some great weather if you're going out there for those football games.
I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your community calendar. Play some football to help find a cure. On Saturday, November 30th, the 2019 Play for a Cure will be having a 7-on-7 touch football game at the Marshall Simons Middle School. For any and all questions, contact Shane O'Halloran at shane2610@gmail.com. The holiday season is here. On Saturday, November 30th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., the United Church of Christ Congregational will be having a holiday market. The fair will feature crafters and artists. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. If you're an artist and you're interested in having a table, contact Brenna Tedesco at brennatedesco@gmail.com or call 781-526-2956 to register. Come and meet Santa, decorate cookies, and more. On Sunday, December 1st, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Cadillac Realty Group in Burlington will be having a Santa party at the Grandview Farm. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information about the event, call Cadillac Realty Group at 781-365-1984. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this has been your Community Calendar.
The fall sports season is drawing to a close. For the latest Red Devil action, we go now to BNEWS sports reporter Liz Gillespie for this week's sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz Gillespie for your weekly sports report. A couple of Burlington High teams played their final meets and game this past week. The girls' varsity swim team traveled to the state championship this past weekend. There were multiples of relays and freestyle that Red Devils qualified in. In the end, the Lady Devils came in 14th place at the state championship that had 17 school districts represented. The girls only scored 32 points out of all of the events. The girls also received the MIAA Sportsmanship Award. According to the MIAA website, the awards are presented at the state championship final of every MIAA-sponsored sport to a worthy team in each division of competition. These awards are presented to those teams that have demonstrated a sincere commitment to the highest ideals and objectives of sportsmanship during their season of play. Teams can be nominated for this award by coaches, athletic directors, and principals. Congrats to them on this fantastic achievement. BHS junior James Johnson headed to Gardner Municipal Golf Course where he competed in the cross-country state championship. Johnson finished with a time of 16 minutes and 34 seconds during the boys 5K run, putting him in 13th place in a field of 181 runners. Congrats to James on a great season. One last hurrah for the boys cross-country seniors as they are seen here thanking Coach Carr for its fantastic 4 years. Good luck in the future, gentlemen. The girls' varsity cheerleading will be heading to the D3 State Championship on Sunday, November 24th at Worcester State. The girls will be competing with a variety of other schools from across New England. They will be performing their routine at 10:23 a.m. Good luck, Lady Devils. Burlington Red Devil football headed to Drake High School to take on the Middies on Friday, November 15th. The game was a consolation matchup for both of the teams. We have some highlights, so let's check them out.
The Burlington Red Devils headed to Drake High School to take on the Middies on Friday, November 15th in a consolation playoff game. There was a lot of action on the field that night, so let's get to it. Running back Lucas Ibargwin of Drake took the quarterback duties for that evening. and he showed off his speed as he ran down the middle of the field for a middies touchdown. Drake went for a 2-point conversion. During Burlington's possession, quarterback Kyle Pena threw a nice dart to Sean Pinkham for a Red Devil touchdown. 8-7, Drake it. Still in the first, a running back hands it off to another running back, senior Sloan Carter picked up some speed, and a lot of it, as he found the end zone for Drake it. Drake it went for 2, but failed. 14-7, middies. Ibargouin ran it himself for another Drake it touchdown, 20-7. Drake it tried their third 2-point conversion attempt, and it was successful, 22-7. With another 3-and-out for the Devils, Lucas Ibargouin threw a 99-yard touchdown pass to Matt Annis. The middies had another successful 2-point conversion, 30-7. Burlington had a shot at scoring in the second quarter as Pena handed it off to running back John Hurley, who gave the Devils the score, 30-14. Burlington once again was in prime position to score as John Hurley went for his second touchdown, 30-20. Drake it. Burlington failed the 2-point conversion. With just seconds left in the half, Ibargouin threw deep down the center of the field to number 10 Mitchell Cripps for a Drake it touchdown. Drake it's 2-point conversion was successful again, 38-20 at the half. Third quarter, Ibargouin took it in for another Drake it touchdown, 44-20. The middies failed the 2-point conversion. Later in the third, the Red Devils gave it to John Hurley again for a Burlington touchdown, 44-26. Burlington failed the 2-point conversion. One more score by the middies in the third. Ibargouin was being chased by the Burlington defensive line as he found wide receiver Mitchell Cripps for a Drake it touchdown, 50-26. The middies went for another 2-point conversion, 52-26. Fourth quarter, Pena gave it to John Hurley for a Burlington touchdown. Burlington failed the 2-point conversion, 52-32, Drake it. Another possession for Burlington gave an opportunity to score as Pena found wide receiver Sean Pinkham for a Red Devil touchdown, 39-52. And can you believe this? Instead of taking a knee, Drake it scored again. Lucas Ibargouin handed off to Devin Hodgson for a middies touchdown. They even attempted a 2-point conversion, but failed. The final score, 58-39, Drake it.
Burlington will be back at home on November 28th, which is Thanksgiving Day, to take on the Lexington Minutemen at BHS Varsity Field. The game will kick off at 10:15 a.m. For more of this week's Red Devil action, go to bcattv.org under the BNEWS Sports Hub section. And that's all for your weekly sports report. I'm Liz Gillespie. Back to you guys in the studio.
One place where there is always a lot happening is the Senior Center. We go now to Council on Aging Director Marge McDonald for the latest senior news.
Hello, everyone. December is fast approaching, and per usual, we have a busy schedule for December. The Police Center is unfortunately full with a large wait list, but we have several other fun events coming up as well. On December 2nd, we'll show It's a Wonderful Life in its entirety, and the New Orleans Jazz Band will be here on the 4th. Bruce Hambro returns on December 9th with a lecture on Bing Crosby, which should be very informative. If you missed his last visit, Bruce is full of information and facts about his subjects. On Monday the 16th, we'll have an hour of classical music with Archie Richards, and we'll include G Minor Prelude by Rachmaninoff. On Wednesday the 18th, we'll have a visit from an old friend, Dorothy Stratton, who has been here many times over the years. She comes with a group from AGVA, the American Guild of Variety Artists. They will do an old-fashioned vaudeville show, which usually has us howling with laughter. And of course, our biggest event of the month, our Christmas extravaganza with the singing trooper, Dan Clark and his Christmas show. We'll top off the year with a New Year's Eve party on Monday, December 30th with some non-alcoholic champagne or sparkling cider and snacks. Make sure to wear something sparkly. Elite Realty is organizing a drive for personal items and gift cards for seniors in need. In order to donate gift cards, you can call Justin Ray at 617-293-1787. Personal items may be dropped off at True North Coffee, Elite Realty Experts at 101 Cambridge Street, Demore Law at 279 Cambridge Street, and at the Senior Center outside the receptionist's office. Donations are being accepted until December 20th. Thank you to Justin for organizing this drive, the businesses willing to accept donations, and of course everyone who donates. This is the time of year when all of our losses become more obvious and a little more difficult to accept or deal with. It is completely normal to feel these losses more acutely during the holidays. Knowing it's normal doesn't make it any easier though. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you are getting enough rest, but not too much. Get out and do things. Participate in activities at the senior center or with your friends and family. Go to the mall and people watch and walk around a bit. Exercise will usually turn your mood around a little bit. Whatever you do, try not to sit at home alone. You should begin to feel better after the holidays, but if you don't, it may be time to get some help. For now, just know that what you're feeling is completely normal and we're all feeling it to some extent. That's all for now. I'm Marge McDonald and I hope to see you at the Senior Center.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo shows a group of Burlington Girl Scouts getting ready for their biggest fundraising push of the year. It was sent in by Linda McNamee and shows junior Girl Scouts, 4th and 5th grade, at Fox Hill during a cookie rally. The girls participated in games and activities to polish their entrepreneurial skills. The Girl Scout cookie sale isn't just a fundraiser, it's also an opportunity for Girl Scouts of all ages to develop skills in decision-making, goal setting, money management, people skills, business ethics, and sales skills. Thank you for the photo, Linda. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of your family members, friends, and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share, email your photos to bcatt@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo Over the Week. Okay, that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Rich Hoffsford, Chris Flaherty, Robert Parris, John Vias, Manny Shipka, Liz Gillespie, Peter Brown, and Marge McDonald. Thank you for joining us and have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving.